Oh, didn't see you guys there. Well, fuck it. Let's get started. Welcome to Week 5 ESPN League Fantasy Blog. We're now 5 weeks in. It's actually Week 6. I'm high as fuck. And I'm Jeff Fetters. So let's get going this week. There's a few things I want to talk about. Let's talk about last week a little bit. Player of the week, I think, is going to go to Drew Brees. I think he had one hell of a game. He almost hit 500 touchdowns, but all them fucking passing yards, everything else. And of course, player of the week, or the worst player of the week, I'm not really going to, even though he's not on somebody's team, that's fine. Mason Crosby fucking sucks, and I thought it was hilarious to watch that asshole miss all them field goals, because I hate the fucking Packers more than probably any other team in the world. Seriously, Brett Favre sucks. Aaron Rodgers can go fuck himself. Except in fantasy, that's my boy. But anyway, we're going to talk about the awards of the GM. I'm going to give Hogg the award for going 5-0. Surprisingly, I don't think he thought his team was as good as it would be 5-0, but it is. And then the shitty GM of the week, I'm going to have to give it to Way. He only barely put up 100 points. Normally, the 100 points would be okay, but this is the first week this year that actually everybody's put up over 100 points. So I'm going to give it to Way because he barely put up 100 points. He had Blake Bortles. It didn't look like he was going to do very well with Bortles. And then Bortles garbage time ends up being his top player. Pretty shitty week around for him. And by the way, he's 1-4. There are about 3 or 4 teams that are 1-4 right off the bat. It's a huge week for you guys. But going to the next thing before we get into this week, I want to talk about the main topic, why this league sucks right now. And the absolute reason why this league sucks is no one pays attention. Everybody acts like they're too busy. And it's insane because it really don't take that much time to pay attention to fantasy. You go ahead, think about this. You want a little tip to go ahead with your fantasy skills and give you enough time to actually do something? Add like 4 minutes onto your shit. Take your phone to the bathroom with you. Right there, just solved your problem. You ever tried eating while fucking? It's another 10 minutes you could probably save. That 10 minutes you could be looking at your fantasy team, making trades, doing transactions. There's a few people out there that I really don't know if pays any attention to their team. Turtle, you have had John Kelly on your team since you drafted him. Statistics for John Kelly this year: 0 rushes, 0 yards, 0 passes, 0 fucking fantasy points, yet he's still been on your fucking team. I don't understand. Why not try anybody? Anybody. That could be like a practice squad spot. Either way, you are 1-4, which gives you to another reason why this league really does suck. And that's because nobody trades. And now, don't get me wrong, 12-team leagues are hard to trade in. But I think a lot of people overvalue their players, and that goes for every league, but this one more especially. Everybody's afraid to give something up to get something in return. There's never going to be an even trade. And if you're evenly trading, then what are you trading? A running back for a wide receiver? It might be possible. But most of the time, you're going to either have to give up, if you're 1-4, to get somebody or maybe 2 players. And if you're 4-1, you're looking to get more. You might have a guy on your bench that's going to work out on somebody else's team. You can push a 2-for-1 to get one of their stud players. And guess what? There's a lot of people that are going to have to do that because 2 positions are better than 1 when you look at some of your teams. When you realize that 2 players that put up 10 points is better than 1 player that puts up 15, maybe you guys will start figuring it out. But until that, the same 6, 7, 8 teams are going to be in the playoffs every year in the battle. The other 3 or 4 teams are going to be battling it out. And, it's just the way it works out. Don't be afraid to make a mistake trading. People fucking forget. You have to do that. Everybody's been there where they've been burned in a trade. It happens. Think about making multiple trades even. Yeah, you're going to give up at one position, but you'll get this other guy, and then you can get, just think about making as many points as possible. That's the key. But it's also the consistency. I know a lot of people have talked about how much points you put up. Think about the points this year. Ryan put up 200 points one week. He looks like he's put up a ton of points. He is I believe he's 2-3. He should be a little better than that. But there's some teams out there that put up a lot of points but are sitting at a split record. And then you look at my team that hasn't put up shit worth points. They're 4-1. I've got really lucky with my scheduling, but at the same time, if you look, I have at least put up 110 points to 130 points every single week. So consistency has to do with a lot of it. So there's another thing I want to talk about here. Looking at some stats. I'll tell you this, since we went to a 12-team league, I went back and looked at all the stats. The key number in this league is 7 wins. If you get 7 wins, you are guaranteed in the playoffs, except there has only been one time where a team that was 7-6 didn't make the playoffs, and it was Adam Little back in 2013. He lost out on points. Which brings me to the other topic. When it comes to points, that's the last time points has been a factor going into the playoffs, so it's been that long for going into the last spot. I looked back at all the division records. Anyone that was 7-6, there was a year that a couple 6-7 teams got in, actually. None of it really broke down to points too bad. It was all about the record, and nobody got left out. But if you are 7-6, statistics are you're going to make the playoffs hands down. So get the 7 wins. If you look at Hog, he's 5-0. 2 wins will make the playoffs. He's going to want to go further than that. But, I mean, that's going to be the key. Is that going to change this year? It could. It could flop by year. Like I said, 1 year, 6-7 got you into the playoffs. I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm going to start getting into a couple other things. I'm going to talk about this week coming up. I'll look at our statistics and all our stats. And I looked over, I'm going to pick every game this week. And guess what? It's fantasy football. I'm going to be off. But talk shit about it all you want. Fucking bring it up next week that I went ahead and talked shit about your team in this segment. And your team went the fuck off. Because that's what keeps the camaraderie going in this league. I'm trying to save this league. And I'm sorry I've not put anything out this much this year in this league, because I've been doing all these videos and blogs for my league, which, by the way, the Federation of Champions, I'm 4-1 finally. All right, so I play Mikey this week. I think Mikey's got some buys and some bad matchups this week. I never normally pick myself, but I got to go ahead and do it. But I think this is going to be the shittiest game of the week. I think I'm going to put up like 95 points and barely squeak out a win over like 90 points that Mikey's going to put out. I have Brett versus Way in the sibling rivalry, or the in-law bowl, for the second week in a row. In-laws play in-laws. So, I looked at Way's team. He's 1-4. He has no running backs right now. I think Brent's going to squeak by because of the running back situation on Way's team, and maybe that's another person who wants to trade for a running back. Got some pretty damn good wide receivers. Get rid of one wide receiver and get 2 decent running backs. Plain and simple. I think you can work that out for a running back wide receiver. Upset alert, Hog is going to lose this week to Trinkley. I actually think Trinkley's 1-4. They've had some pretty shitty fucking breaks this year. I mean, look at the players they're missing. And they have tried to make some moves, so I got to give them credit there. And, you know, they're pretty responsive with their trades when they come back with. So I know I've been trying to make some trades with them and a couple other people, but I got to give them credit there. They're 1-4, but they are trying to make themselves better. And lucky for them, they got a pretty bad division. So at the end of the year, if they can turn it around, they might have 3 bad teams to play at the end of the year. Next one up is, I think Turtle and Matt play each other. Turtle's team's not very good. I mean, I'm just talking about, I looked at it. You have Tom Brady. There's probably 6 or 7 teams I'd like to upgrade and have Tom Brady. And you could probably get their quarterback and plus a decent running back out of it. So think about that. It's all about the trading. Got to make your team better. And free agency is not going to do it. So Matt's going to get by on that one. Adam and Kyle, I think Adam's going to squeak it out just because Kyle has no breeze this week. So, I mean, that's probably a 20-point loss, depending on who he starts at quarterback. And then the last game of the week, I believe, is going to be Ryan versus Eric. I think Ryan's got a pretty good team. He's going to start stepping it up again. He's not going to get screwed like last year where he put up all them points. So that's it for this week. Let me thank my sponsors, the Village Tap, High Times, and, of course, Dabs Magazine. All right, if you got anything to say, go ahead and take care. Peace.